Most people spend their entire lives working for a paycheck, but the few who learn how to make money work for them never see the world the same way again. Here's the truth they don't teach you in school. The goal isn't to find a better job. It's to build a better system. It's about owning the machine, not just being a gear within it. Thank you to all our returning subscribers, and a warm welcome to every new viewer joining us at the Investor's Edge. If you stay with me until the end of this video, you will understand the real, actionable principles behind building generational wealth, the ones the media overcomplicates and the financial elite rarely share. Because today, we are not chasing trends, we are building foundations. We are uncovering the timeless strategies for financial sovereignty with discipline, intelligence, and unwavering resolve. Let's be clear, most people hear long-term investing and think it's slow, boring, or only for the already rich. They chase the thrill of quick profits, confusing gambling with strategy. But history tells a different story. The most enduring fortunes, from the Rothschilds' banking dynasty to Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, were not built on fleeting market frenzies. They were built on disciplined systems of capital allocation, compounding, and ownership. And in today's hyper-connected world, these principles are more accessible and more powerful than ever before. At the Investor's Edge, we don't deal in speculation. We deal in strategy backed by data, economic principles, and decades of market evidence. So clear your mind, because over the next hour, we are deconstructing the 5 pillars of generational wealth for the investor who refuses to leave their future to chance. Stay until the end. I guarantee, what you learn today has the power to redefine your financial legacy. The first pillar is the ownership mandate. Don't just earn known. Let's start with the unbreakable rule of wealth creation. The first law of financial independence is ownership. You cannot trade your way to freedom by merely renting stocks. Every great financial legacy, from the merchants of Venice to the titans of Silicon Valley, was founded on owning productive assets that generate value on their own. Think of the early investors in Coca-Cola, who bought shares not for a quick flip, but for a stake in a global brand that would pay dividends for over a century. Or consider the families who bought land in cities before they became sprawling metropolises. The market rewards owners, not traders. A day trader gets paid for a correct guess. An owner gets paid for the world's progress. So, ask yourself a hard question: are you owning assets, or are you just holding tickers? Ownership grants you a claim on future profits. Trading just gives you a ticket for the day. You can't achieve financial security until you own a piece of the economy. Thank you to every new subscriber joining the Investor's Edge community. You're not just watching videos, you're learning the mindset of an owner. The second pillar is the compounding engine. Make time your greatest asset. Albert Einstein is often quoted as calling compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. Why? Because it is the only force in finance that multiplies your wealth while you do absolutely nothing. When your returns generate their own returns, you ignite a powerful, self-sustaining financial engine. A one-time investment of $10,000 in the S&P 500 in 1990 would have grown to over $200,000 by 2020, with dividends reinvested. That wasn't magic, it was the mathematical certainty of compounding. This is time working for you, not against you. The market rewards patience, not frantic activity. The longer your capital is deployed, the more powerful the force of compounding becomes. Every day you wait is a day you sacrifice your most powerful ally. Shout out to our long-time subscribers. You understand the power of the principles we share, principles that are foundational yet tragically overlooked. The third pillar is the value investing philosophy. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. This is the core principle that separates true investors from speculators. It's the philosophy of buying wonderful companies at a fair price, not fair companies at a wonderful price. Benjamin Graham, the father of value investing, built his entire framework on this idea. He taught his students, including Warren Buffett, to look for a margin of safety, the gap between a company's intrinsic value and its market price. When you buy a stock, you are not buying a piece of paper, you are buying a fractional ownership in a real business. Would you buy a local coffee shop without understanding its profits, its debt, and its competitive advantages? Of course not. Yet millions do this every day in the stock market. Value investing forces you to become a business analyst, not a market timer. Learn to analyze a balance sheet, understand a company's moat, and calculate its true worth. Price follows value, always. Stay focused. The next pillar is what separates the good investors from the great ones. The fourth pillar is the asymmetric bet. Heads, I win; tails, I don't lose much. True wealth isn't built by taking massive risks, it's built by finding opportunities where the potential upside dramatically outweighs the potential downside. This is the concept of asymmetry. Nassim Taleb explored this idea in his work, showing how the most robust systems are those that benefit from volatility and uncertainty. An asymmetric investment could be investing in a small, innovative biotech company with a groundbreaking drug in trials. If the drug fails, you may lose your initial investment. But if it succeeds, the returns could be 10, 20, or even 100 times your capital. The key is position sizing, making many small, calculated bets where the downside is capped but the upside is virtually unlimited. Venture capitalists have used this model for decades to fund the next Google or Amazon. You don't need to be right all the time. You just need to be right once, when it matters most. Asymmetric thinking is the intellectual leverage of the modern investor. The final pillar is the behavioral fortress. Control your emotions, control your destiny. The final pillar has nothing to do with numbers, charts, or economic forecasts. It's about mastering the single greatest threat to your returns. Wealth is transferred from the impatient to the patient. Fear and greed are the twin enemies of the long-term investor. Fear makes you sell at the bottom, crystallizing your losses. Greed makes you buy at the top, chasing hype into a bubble. Sir Isaac Newton, one of the greatest minds in human history, lost a fortune in the South Sea bubble of 1720, later admitting, "I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people." If Newton could fall victim to market euphoria, so can you. The solution is to build a behavioral fortress. Create a rules-based investment plan. Automate your contributions. Turn off the financial news. Your greatest advantage is not a higher IQ, it's a stronger temperament. Ownership. Compounding. Value. Asymmetry. Behavior. Every pillar is timeless. Tested by history. Proven by the world's greatest investors. No shortcuts. No secrets. Just enduring principles. At the Investor's Edge, we know that knowledge without action is meaningless. You now have the pillars. It's time to build your financial fortress. Thank you for staying until the end, and thank you to every subscriber who is committed to a disciplined, intelligent approach to wealth. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the Investor's Edge. Here, we don't chase noise, we build value. Stay with us. Because the future belongs to the investors who master the principles of the past. This is the Investor's Edge, where your discipline becomes your most valuable asset.